Today I'm going to go over the brush truck. It's a military model LMTV 1078, and this is going to be video 1 of 2. This video will contain everything you need to know about the operation of this truck, how to put it in 4-wheel drive, just the basics of the truck, and part 2 will be the actual skid unit on the back of the truck in the bed for fighting fire. So anyway, when you climb in, everybody knows where the handrails are, right here. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, there's a green switch. Everybody can see that green switch. You'll push it down. That is the only switch up here. That's the hazard beacon. You don't need that on. This right here, this is just for, that's a lamp test. These two are just for military use, so you're really not going to use any of these 3 switches. Okay, that's on. You're not really going to use the hand throttle. That's basically like a cruise control. So right here, that's your air brake release. This is the only one that you will use right here. We're not really hauling a trailer or anything, so you don't need that. Do not touch this. This is the control panel. This thing has an onboard air compressor system for the tires. You can deflate the tires, inflate the tires. You can do all kind of stuff with the tires. Just leave that alone. Right here are your vent controls. Defrost, heat, vent. Now that's self-explanatory. Right here, that is your control panel for your LED light bar, your emergency lights on top of the cab. And it stays on. Anyway, that's self-explanatory. This is your master control box right here. That's your siren control for your siren speaker. Okay, basically turn that on. That turns on the light bar. That turns on other lights, more lights. This one here turns on more. That's your siren. This one here, that is for your LED light bar on the front, and it stays in the on position, as you can see. Now if this switch is off like it is now, it'll light up red. Even though this is on, it will not come on. So we leave this in the on position and just use the switch to turn everything off. So anyway, we're going to just turn everything on minus the siren. Okay, now we'll start it up here in just a second. Right here, that is your headlights. Okay, that is your headlight control. That's the one on the bottom left right here. That is for your panel, instrument panel. Dim, panel bright, back to dim, back to off, and just park mode. You don't have to have any kind of unlock for this. The headlights, okay, this will not move unless you have to hold this with one hand. So I'm going to try to hold this so you can see, but I'm going to hold that, and then what I would do, that's just going to be stop lights only. Service drive is what you want, so you have to hold that up, turn this to service drive. These, the blackout marker, blackout drive, that's military. Don't worry about anything on the left. So basically, you got your parking lights on a regular vehicle. Okay, that means the headlights are off. And then service drive, that is your headlights, parking lights, turn signals, brake lights, hazard lights, everything right there. So just remember that. And you're not going to have any lights on your dash, on your instrument panels, unless you turn this on also. So that's how you control that. So I'm going to turn this back to off, turn the panel lights off. I'm going to hold this up, and then I'm going to go back to off. You can see once again it will not let you move unless you unlock. You have to hold unlock and then move that. So that's that. Okay. Right here, that is how you adjust your tilt steering. And basically it's set. I got it locked. It's set. That is not the horn. The horn is actually right here on this lever. Okay, that's your high beam, you know, your wipers, that kind of stuff right here, just like a regular traditional vehicle. So anyway, we will start it up. There's your oil pressure gauge, voltmeter, water temp gauge, fuel, and your front and rear air. That is your mode. Neutral. Remember, on these automatic transmissions, the push button, if you're in reverse and need to go to drive, do not hit reverse and then drive. Always go to neutral first. So if you're in reverse, hit neutral, let it shift into neutral, then shift into drive. If you're in drive and need to go to reverse, everything's backwards. So you'll go from drive to neutral, and then from neutral to reverse. So now we're going to start this thing up. That switch is down. This is your start. So that's how you start it. And then you want to check your gauges. Okay, so foot on the brake. I'm going to push this in, just the bottom. You don't have to worry about the top. Okay, I'm still in neutral. I'm going to push drive. This is a 7-speed transmission. Okay, so I'm in drive. Automatic transmission. Okay, now if I wanted to go in reverse, okay, remember I'm still in drive. I need to hit neutral, then hit reverse. Okay, now I want to go back to drive. Gotta hit neutral, back to drive. Okay, this model is a 4-wheel drive, so in order to engage the 4-wheel drive, you want to be in neutral. You will hit mode. Alright, when it says mode on, that means you are in 4-wheel drive mode. 4-wheel drive will not work unless it says mode on. So to take it out of 4-wheel drive, put it in neutral. Okay, if I put it in drive, okay, I'm in 4-wheel drive mode. So to take it back into 2-wheel drive, you want to hit neutral. And you want to hit mode again. 4-wheel drive is off. Okay, so that's how you get it in 4-wheel drive. Okay, now I'm going to send neutral. I'm ready to park it. I'm going to pull the parking brake just like a regular fire truck. Okay, now all I have to do to turn it off, this switch here, just flip that up. That is off. Okay, and even though this truck is off, if you have the headlights on, the headlights will stay on until the batteries die. Remember that. Also, all these will stay on until the battery dies. So be sure you have everything off before you exit the vehicle. Okay, now I'm going to do a walk around on the outside of the truck. Okay, you can check everything right here except the engine oil. In order to check the engine oil, you have to raise the cab. Do not attempt to raise the cab. I will be doing that on a monthly basis. Right here, antifreeze coolant. There's your sight glass. Okay, transmission. You can check your transmission oil here. This is where you add engine oil. Transmission. And that's also where you add your transmission oil. These are two of your add. Transmission level, it's going to be that dipstick right there. Don't mess with these. These are attachment points, and they're on the outside. You got one here, one above that, below the fender well, and two on the other side. That's for so a helicopter can lift it. You got to remember, this used to be a military truck. Battery compartment. This is a 24-volt system. In this battery compartment, that's where your batteries are. These are your air tanks. You can bleed them. They rarely have any moisture because we don't really drive this truck. Never has a chance to build up any moisture, really. This truck, you can change the, right there's the plate. You can change the suspension on this truck. Don't attempt to fool with anything like that. So no cab tilting. I'll be doing all that on a monthly basis to check the oil. All these panels will lay down. You'll see in the back. There's your exhaust. That's that other attachment point for helicopter, for a Chinook. There's also another. If you have any rigging or anything to do, it has a built-in, basically looks like a carabiner. That's an attachment point. That's your anchor. So keep that in mind. There's your, you got lights on the back. Reverse lights. You also have 3 attachment points back here. You got 2 D-rings right here, clevis hooks, whatever you want to call them. And that's for pulling a trailer. There's your air brake supply for your trailer. You have to pull that. Okay, your tailgate will lay down. Okay, that lays down like that. That's your skid. We're going to go over the skid on the next video, the pump unit. And all these panels will fold down. Right here, that's just storage compartments. Storage here. You look at the wheel, that's the onboard air system. That's for inflation and deflation of the tires. Do not mess with that again. Also, you have another attachment point right there, another anchor point. This is diesel fuel only. Do not mess with these controls for tilting the cab. I'll be doing all that. Right here is storage. Okay. Right here is your control box. Okay, that controls your suspension, your cab tilt, your spare tire, raise and lower. There's your pump. There's the directions on how to do everything. Again, do not mess with it. If you don't know what you're doing, don't touch it. That's a backup jack in case the system fails. We have a way to raise and lower the cab just like on a regular fire truck. There's your plate on this side for your suspension, changing your suspension out. That's basically it on the outside. There's your lights, your emergency lights, the LED light bar. You have 2 attachment points on the front, and there is your air hookup for if this thing has to be towed. So if this thing has to be towed, that's it. 3 windshield wipers. One other thing, and I'll complete this video. This truck is designed to ride in water all the way up to that snorkel. So you can actually be in the cab and have water up to your chest driving if you have to do any kind of water rescue or anything like that. This truck is designed for that. Everything on the inside of this truck is waterproof. So keep that in mind. But that completes this video, and thanks for watching.